This is Popcorn Population by Karen Guerrero. This is for second and third graders and is 2 class periods. Arizona's population has grown from 204,000 in 1910 to almost 7 million in 2010. Students will explore and speculate on the population of Arizona over the past 100 years. They then will sequence the decade data from the U.S. Census Bureau. We'll look at the population of the class and will collect and graph data based on the information gathered. The purpose of this lesson is students will learn about Arizona's growth in population over the past 100 years using math skills. They will then collect and graph data based on the information gathered. Materials required is the U.S. political map, the link to the Arizona census data, the timeline pieces provided, Arizona's population popcorn worksheet, popcorn picture graphs, Arizona's population popcorn poster, which you would want to enlarge to 11 by 17, popcorn pieces for the self-portraits, markers, crayons, or colored pencils, 3 different types or colors of popcorn, and string or yarn or tape. The objective of this lesson is students will be able to use technology to gather data, use timelines to sequence historical data, and collect, organize, and represent and interpret data. Before class begins, you will want to cut out the popcorn timeline pieces, and you'll want to open up the census data web link ahead of time for viewing. As a group, have students look at the U.S. map, preferably a large classroom map or a projected map, and ask students to locate Arizona. Ask students what population means and whether they think Arizona's population is more or less than what it was 100 years ago. Have students explain why they think so. Tell the students that today they will be learning more about the population of Arizona using technology. They will view information found online to organize data into a timeline. Go to the website on census. After reviewing the online data, have students in pairs or groups put the popcorn population pieces into a timeline. You will take a piece of string or a piece of tape and put it across their table. They will then take the popcorn pieces and place the population on a timeline, such as this. The dates go from 1910 all the way to 2010. Tell the students that they are part of the population of Arizona and that they will be collecting data on the classroom population tomorrow. They will need to draw a picture of themselves on their popcorn pieces for self-portraits and then cut it out, such as this popcorn piece right here, where they draw a picture of themselves and put their name on a large piece of popcorn so that they can create popcorn data at tomorrow. Day 2. You would want to get 3 different types of popcorn. You can choose 3 different flavors or 3 different brands. I chose Pop Secret, Orville Redenbacher, and Act 2 for choices. Look at the Arizona population popcorn poster. The next day you will review the Arizona population and you'll create a poster. This document is provided and you would want to enlarge it and or create it as a bulletin board. You would then, as a class set, put the population in increments going up for each decade. Have students comment why they think Arizona's population grew so much from the early 1900s to 2010. Explain that they will be collecting and charting data on their own population within the classroom and create a graph. Explain that they will chart the data creating a picture graph, creating a vertical line on a whiteboard. You will draw a vertical line on the whiteboard and a horizontal line. Then you will write like and dislike. And you'll ask the students whether they like popcorn or not. You will take their individual popcorn pieces and create a pictograph on whether they like or dislike popcorn. So you have a large class chart going up on the whiteboard. Then you will have the students count how many liked popcorn and how many disliked popcorn. And on the left side of the graph, you will number those so that they can see how a bar graph would be created. You can number them by single digits, by fives, by twos, by tens, depending on the numbers. Ask students a series of questions such as how many students like popcorn? How many students don't like popcorn? Are there more or less students who like popcorn? If we add all the responses together, how many people gave a response? How many more people like popcorn than don't like popcorn? Take the self-portraits off the board and create the activity with a new label. You could create a bar graph that says born in Arizona, born in another state, and born in another country. You would then have students go up and put their popcorn pieces on whether they were born in Arizona, they were born in another state, or whether they were born in another country. You can then repeat the questions. Pass out a small amount of 3 different types of popcorn to each group. Give the students a chance to think of names for the vertical and horizontal lines, as well as a title for their graph. This time, instead of using the self-portraits, have the groups tally their preferences in regards to the 3 varieties of popcorn using scrap pieces of paper. As they finish their snack, have students call out the data to create a class tally sheet on the board. Have students use their Session 2 popcorn pictograph to graph the whole class data that they collected in small groups based on the 3 types of popcorn. There's a student assessment piece where students will complete the Arizona Population Popcorn Worksheet, and students will graph the popcorn data on the Session 2. They will need to include a title, the count for the data. They will have to label both the X and Y axis, and mastery will be considered 80% or higher. Some extensions you can do. Students can continue to use their self-portrait popcorn pieces to graph new data on other preferences, such as favorite color, places they've been, etc. Students can also conduct another data collection using another food or drink of choice during snack time. The sources used in this lesson come from U.S. Bureau of the Census.